queen, yet legend. Yes. Oh my God, she's okay. She's not dead, y'all. Anyways, hello, jury. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful but roller coaster of a fucking season that we have endured the past almost 2 months. Before we get into that, I just want to thank every single one of you for sticking it out with us, for playing this game for us, and we just have so much love and respect for each and every one of you, but that is not why we're here tonight. We are here to crown a winner of our season 2. But before we get into that, Khalid and Amanda both did a juror statement final 3 ringmaster competition. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, but the final score tally was 6-4. Okay.
Correct.
Our final score tally was 6-4. Does anyone have any guesses on who won?
Amanda.
Rooting for the girl Amanda.
Alrighty. Wow. I'll tell you who won, but I'm gonna bring our third placer in first. So Khalid won.
Robbed queen. No.
We do not support this.
No, send her back now.
This is
No.
so weird.
Send her
told
home.
you.
Send her back now.
This
It
is so
is official. Khalid won final ringmaster and chose to close Amanda's curtains. Amanda is our third place queen, because we always need a third place queen. However, it's not over for you all, as we are bringing in our final 2, Sean and Khalid, as you will have to cast a vote for one of the 2 to ultimately claim the title as Legend of Instinct, walk away $250 richer, and still, maybe, possibly, I don't know, it's y'all's game, be bitter at them afterwards. I don't know. I'm not you. So we are going to be bringing in our final 2 shortly, but as of now, if you have anything to talk about with Amanda while she's here or anything, we'll give y'all a few seconds.
You're my winner. I don't care
You were,
about this
yeah.
title. You're my winner.
I
You
say
were
we all
robbed.
abstain.
What is this?
I say we all abstain from voting, so they have to give it to third place.
I made-
Amanda wins, and everybody wins. It's
I
Literally,
made
I
cards
think-
for everyone, and yours was the only good one. I put
I,
you
um,
as charismatic. The other two
Amanda,
didn't
I
get
can-
anything.
I can honestly say that if you were in final 2, you were probably winning by a wide margin
You
Against
have
either of them.
against
Production.
either of them.
Yeah.
Production, you guys made a mistake. Amanda shouldn't be here right now.
Amanda was the one that got 6 points. It was actually it was whoever got the least points
I
won.
agree. I answered,
I'm confused.
I answered my question wrong. I don't
Yeah,
know
my
what-
question was incorrect, so I think Amanda gets the point. Khalid doesn't.
Yeah,
We go to
I
a
do
tiebreaker.
too. Yeah, I do too. And the question is, how many cups did Amanda win? Oh, Amanda, you won! Congrats!
Yeah. Amanda, what you guys don't understand is Amanda answered that question one higher because she knew she was going to win this one.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's what happened.
Okay,
It's an error. Everybody makes mistakes.
While we're
Everybody
all
has
sitting
those
here,
days.
Amanda, you have the freshest perspective on both of them. If you, gun to your head right now, had to pick a winner, who would you choose before jury questions or anything?
Oh, God. I don't even know who I'm going to vote for, to be completely honest. I'm interested to see how they answer questions because I do think that while their games are similar, they played completely differently. Khalid was a lot more under the radar. Sean was a lot more outwardly playing. So it depends on how they defend their gameplay, I think.
I'm still waiting on one to join the waiting room, so.
I know my question for Khalid.
I've got my burrito ready. I'm ready to go.
I don't even know what to ask him.
Wait.
I'm gonna ask him what he has more of, how many times he wanted to quit or competition wins.
I'm gonna ask what he has more of, how many times he wanted to quit or how many dick pics he got from Sean. But Colin, are you still gonna ask Sean to
in our
reintroduce
waiting
himself?
room? If you could please mute while I bring them in here. Thank you. Me and Anna too. Anna, do you want me to bring your two in here?
Our internet connection's kind of unstable right now, so we're trying to get her in a strong.
Okay, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. Alrighty. I'm all in here. Hello, Khalid. Hello, Sean.
Hey.
Congrats, final two. You are now in the midst of our jury of peers. 9 people that are now out of this game decide your fate. Obviously. That's always how games like this works. Anyways, one at a time, we are going to start out with opening statements. Then we're going to give the jury all the time in the world to pretty much say what they got to say. And afterwards, we will crown a winner. So you both each have 5 minutes for opening statements. And then again, after everyone's done, 5 minutes for closing statements. And by random draw, Khalid, you're first.
Oh my God. Okay. Hey, Jerry. Hey, everyone. We finally made it to the finale. I've had a blast playing with every single one of you. But let's get down to business, bitches. Coming into this game, I made it my #1 goal to make sure that I was well connected and informed at the start to ensure my safety further down the line. But I soon found out that that was not the case, and there were multiple alliances being made left and right and center, and I was out of the loop. So at the beginning, I was scared because I started speaking to people and I started realizing that my name was being thrown out there. And so I was very pressured because I knew that all of you were players. And when I say players, I mean like you were threats and you were dangerous players. And so I made sure to have the conversations that I needed to have to like feel out the game and feel out the alliances and stuff. And at the beginning, I felt like an outcast. My alliance was, I thought, Jinx, Prinoy, and Genki. And then in one round, my whole alliance left. And I was left to, I was so lost and confused. No ally, but I'm a fighter and I'm a survivor. So I decided to stay in the game and I was like, no, listen, you are capable of winning this game. And I needed to have a winner's mentality to make it through, because if I was defeated and stuff, then I would have been out next. And so I quickly started to adapt to the game. And then it was the jury phase. In the jury phase, I pumped up my game. I was very underestimated. I felt like a lone wolf coming into this game because I never really felt like I was part of a pack. I was always wandering, talking to people here and there, trying to see what was going on. But at the end of the day, I knew that I was safe. If I felt like my life in this game was in danger, then I made sure to make the necessary moves and steps that I needed to make to ensure my safety. So if I heard my name going around, then I made sure that I needed to speak to the right people to be safe. And so early in the jury stage, we formed a 4-person alliance of me, Sean, Jeremy, and Amanda, and we made the final 4. One thing that you should know about me is I know it's frustrating. For me, I hate when one alliance steamrolls. I like changing shit up and, branching out and working with people that best benefits your game. And I thought of that. I never just said, oh, loyalty, let me stay true to these people. No. Every decision I made was calculated. So when it came down to the vote between Colin and I knew that at that point in the game, I felt like I kind of overestimated my game. I overestimated my comfort level in this game. And when I was put up, that gave me a reality check, because I was like, listen, you got 3 votes cast against you and you stayed by 2 votes. And I know, Colin, I knew you had that power. And as much as it hurts me to lie and appear that I didn't know what was going on, I knew what was going on, but I had to make sure that you felt comfortable enough not to use that power, or else my ass would have been in the jury. And so I felt like every round from there on forward, I was present, even though it didn't seem like it. I was very behind the scenes. I kept my cards to my chest. No one knew what the fuck was going on in my head. Even Rory, when Rory left, said, Khalid, 5, 6, when he was rating my strategic, social, and physical game. But at the end, I knew that I had to turn the fuck up out of my game if I wanted to impress you, the jury, and get this win. And so I did exactly that. I bumped it up physically. In that freaking part 1 challenge, we had to spin and endure that challenge. And I fought. And I got many warnings. And I thought that this might be the end for me, but I fought because I wanted this win so bad. And when Sean lost part 2, as you all know, me and Sean were tight, and I may seem like I was in Sean's pocket and stuff, but I'm not afraid of Sean, and that's why Sean was my final 2, and I never wavered against that. I know Sean has played a very good game, but I know I'm confident in the game that I played, and so that's why I stuck to Sean, and I played a very, very strong end game. I got out the 2 people that I had as targets in my mind, Jeremy and Rory. You 2 were legends, and you 2 were the 2 people going into jury that scared me the most. And when I got power, I made sure to go after my targets. Jeremy, you scared the hell out of me because I know I saw the game that you were playing. You were playing flawlessly. I mean, come on, you have your social game unlocked. You were good with everyone. And I was thinking to myself, who is going to strike against Jeremy? But I knew that was not the time to strike against you when I was ringmaster, because that would have effed everything up, our alliance and so many other things. So I took the risk, I kept you, and Rory, I had to go after you because I know that, okay, maybe the jury we're not your biggest fans, but I knew that you are a hell of a player. You win competitions and you do whatever the fuck you want to do. And I didn't feel like I was that in with you. And so I was like, if Rory wins power, I'm in trouble. And so I had to go after you. So, sorry?
30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Continue. Anyways, I came into this game as a wolf. I feel like in this game, my archetype would be the wolf in sheep's clothing. All of you thought that I was a sheep, but I was truly a wolf. I was waiting to pounce, and I feel like I pounced at the right times, and I played not flawless, but I played a very good game that I'm confident in. It's a well-rounded game, strategically, socially, and physically, and I would love to answer any of your questions and clarify anything. And I had the best time ever playing and meeting every single one of you amazing, beautiful souls. And I think you're all amazing, and I can't wait to answer your questions. Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Under the 5-minute mark. Thank you, Khalid. Sean?
Okay. I first off want to say that how I play this game does not reflect how I am as a person. To those that I hurt, I'm really sorry. I hope that you guys can forgive me once the game is over and we can just learn to be friends and you guys can learn to get to know me. This being my first org, I came in and I wanted to play a dominant, social, and strategic game. The beginning of the first round, I just wanted to be social. I socialized with as many people as possible. Going into week 2, I wanted to take a step back, let it marinate, let people come to me and notice who doesn't come to me. I also found 2 powers week 2. I found them within like a few hours of each other, like 4 hours. I found the first one on Lane's eviction picture and I found the second one in the intro video. I was always looking for something. As soon as they said that there's something out there, I was always looking. Once we got to the merge, I felt like I was in a really good position. I was in almost every alliance. Like I was in an alliance with almost everybody except for Anna, who I still had a really good relationship with. And then going into Anna's Ringmaster, that next week was one of my messy but most strategic rounds in the game. With Anna winning, I knew that Anna was going to nominate 2 core members of my group, the Plastics. I was not okay with it. I felt in my gut it was the best time to play that power, and I wanted to go after huge threats. I was not afraid to go after people. I was nominating Sarah Colin with or without that power, and I knew that they were both huge threats to my game. Both were smart as fuck. Colin was a social beast, and after having a conversation with Rory, the house talk was about getting out Sarah. I wanted to go after Colin. Colin was a huge threat. Colin was the glue to all those alliances that were formed. And I was really afraid of Colin going forward, coming after me. So I wanted to make sure Colin was going out that door, especially with that power. It was super dangerous. I had a really good conversation with Amanda. I told her this will build our trust. I told her about Colin's power. She already knew about it. Apparently, she told me that it was between like Amanda and Anna knew, and that was it. So Amanda then went back to Colin to like kind of like confirm or deny. Colin said, nope, only Amanda and Anna still know about the power. Amanda came back to me and said, let's blindside Colin. I then went to Noah. That was the last vote I needed to confirm that vote. Noah then ratted out the entire alliance of Anna, Sarah, and Colin to me. I was like, perfect, cool, let's move on. We got this. And that was a really tough round because Colin did have that power. And I was like super scared that Khalid might go home that round. So I made sure that we went around to blindside Colin, making sure that that vote was 8-0, that Colin knew that vote was going to be 8-0. I did it like a very shady way, but it had to be shady in order for that round to take place. Going into the following round, Sarah won Snake Charmer. I was really nervous. I was like, oh my God, someone could rat me out. Noah ended up ratting me out as soon as Noah was nominated. I was like, fuck. And I had to pick up my pieces, move on, and try to survive the round. Noah ended up quitting, moved on. Amanda ended up winning the next ringmaster. I was fine. I ended up winning the ROI. It was my first competition win. I was so excited. I didn't think I was going to win a single competition win this entire season. Going into the next round, going to live night. Live night was a mess. I tried to make a big move by going after Megan and Rory. It failed. It backfired, and I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? Going into that vote was between Olivia and Khalid. Khalid was going home, and I convinced the majority of the people to flip their vote and vote out Olivia. I love Olivia. I did not want Olivia to go on live night. She was like the third person I did not want to go that night. But between Khalid and Olivia, Khalid is best to keep for my game. So I wanted to make sure Khalid stayed, and I convinced everybody I was working with to keep Khalid. That's why the vote was 5-0. Khalid ended up winning the next ringmaster. We discussed for hours who was best to nominate. We decided to go with Megan and Rory. Rory was the target. Towards the end of the week, it could have split to Megan, but it didn't. Going into the next round, I won the ringmaster. I was working with Megana and the Hey Bitches. I ended up put up one person from each alliance. It ended up being fine until Anna won the ROI, took herself off. I had to make a big move. I put up Megan. Megan went home. Going into Final 5, I thought it was fucked. Jeremy ended up not putting me up at all. I was surprised. My social game really helped me out there. I was in the best social Santa going into Final 4. No one is voting me out. I ended up winning the ringmaster. Put up 2 people. Khalid voted out Jeremy after winning the ROI. I set myself up strategically going into Final 3 with both people taking me to the end no matter what. That's it.
Thank you. Alrighty. Jerry, it is now your turn. One by one, you have questions, statements, whatever you want to say to Sean or Khalid, and we are going by jury order. So Nick, you are first.
Hey, also, I don't know who Noah is. We don't talk about him. Secondly, I just wanted to congratulate both of you on getting here. You both are amazing people, I know, and I care about each of you as individuals. However, I am not going to be nice to either of you. I'm going to be very, very, very honest with both of you on how the jury feels about you, how I feel about you as a game, in game sense. Sean, you're one of my longest friends in this community, and I love you very much. Khalid, sorry. I've grown to love you as a person and a human being, and I think you're an amazing person. With that being said, I want each of you to name 2 people who deserve to be in the final 2 more than you. We'll start with Sean.
Jeremy and Amanda. Jeremy, Amanda.
All right, Khalid, you're next.
I would have to say Jeremy and Amanda. And again, as much as they scared me, I believe in myself to stay loyal and still win in the end.
Alrighty. If you had to compare yourself to a Big Brother winner, who would it be? We'll start with Khalid this time.
Oh my God, a Big Brother winner. I would have to say, oh my God, maybe Steve. Listen, I was not a fan, but like Steve was very underestimated. But he was doing a lot of behind the work scenes. He always knew what the fuck was going on. And then he cut Vanessa, which I feel like Amanda, I mean, come on, Amanda was the queen of the season. Like the jury, and I feel like if this was a real season, the jury and the fans maybe would like cheer for Amanda, and I would be the Steve in the situation. But I feel like, yeah, I feel like I would be Steve.
All right, Sean.
I don't want to like overhype myself, but the way I played the game was pretty evil in most senses. Like I did play a very dominant, like snaky game. So probably more like Dan. I did snake people. I did lie. I didn't take the Bible to it or anything, but I definitely did lie quite a bit.
Alrighty. Khalid, a lot of people are doubtful of the actions which occurred at your end game and the reasons for those actions being happening. Can you explain eliminating Jeremy over Amanda and then eliminating Amanda over Sean?
Sorry, Nick, you kind of broke out. But from what I got, were you asking why I eliminated Jeremy over Amanda and Amanda over Sean?
Yes.
Okay. So in my 4 alliance, which is Sean, Jeremy, and Amanda, I knew that they were all threats. But to me, Jeremy was the biggest threat because I kind of saw the way I play some games in Jeremy, and I respect that because Jeremy played a game where it's very social, and I know that you could doubt my social game this game, but I saw Jeremy playing such a social game Jeremy's strategic game, I feel like Jeremy thought so much about this game and put so much effort. I mean, Jeremy made a whole freaking Excel sheet with everything that happened in this game. I was like, okay, I do that, but not to this extent. And that scared me because I was like, wait, Jeremy is such a player. And if they make it to the end, they have this game on lock. Amanda was the first ringmaster. Amanda's been nominated 6 times. And I feel like if Amanda made it to the end, I would have such a hard shot at winning against her. And so I was like, if you want to stay loyal, then you have to pull those those comps win out in the end, or you're not going to win. And I gave it my all, and I was able to do that. And I stick to Sean because Sean me and Sean connected very, very early in the game, maybe day 2. And in my head, I was like, this is my person. I am going all the way with Sean. And as the game went on, of course, I was realizing how good of a game Sean was playing, but I was confident in my game and I didn't deviate and I didn't waver my loyalty. Like I was always going to the end with Sean, and I was confident that I would be able to articulate my game, whereas Sean's game is more in your face. My game is very behind the scenes, but I was confident in my abilities to convey that game to you, Jerry, tonight. And that's why I made those decisions.
Before Sean answers that question, we do have to ask you, Nick, to wrap it up a little bit.
Okay, I just have one more question and then I have like a little speech. Sean, I don't have a question that isn't going to be asked by other members of the jury. I have a really good feeling that a lot of the jury members have some really deep-rooted questions. So I want you to pick a box, 1, 2, or 3.
Pick a box.
Yep, 1, 2, or 3.
2.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna very quickly wrap up how the jury thinks of you, so you can go into that headspace. As the first juror, I didn't get to see a lot of your games. I just got to listen. Khalid, the jury really doesn't understand your game. There were points in times where you have told members of the jury that you wanted to quit, and they do not respect that. They feel that you kind of didn't do much in the game. So I would say conveying that would be very, very, like conveying that to the best of your abilities would be your best chance to win. Sean, a lot of the jurors are really upset with your behavior in the game. They think that some things were crossing lines. I personally think that some things were crossing lines. I think that in order to fix that, you really need to convey why you did it, and also understanding that that's not okay. I think you both played amazing games. I think you played phenomenal games. I just think that some things in this game need better conveyed or apologies for. But with that being said, congratulations to both of you. I love you both.
Thanks, Nick. Colin.
What's up? I'm going to start with each of you one at a time. I'll give each of you a chance to speak. I want to start off, though. I'm extremely bitter toward both of you. Not from a game standpoint. I can respect the game move that both of you made. I'm bitter from the way that you went about it. Khalid, before I went out, you told me that you were about to walk away from the game. The only reason you're staying is because you want to respect the host. Throughout the entire game, there was portions where you didn't even show up to the game. Why should the jury reward you the win when you didn't show up to challenges and your vote got randomized twice as compared to Sean, where Sean was pretty much playing the entire game that we can see?
Okay, sorry, Colin, you were kind of breaking out, but I got what you were saying. I feel like I was very present. I know that people thought that I was not present because maybe they thought that I was not around and stuff, but I think my vote, if I'm not mistaken, was only randomized once, and I feel really, really bad about that because that was such a hectic week for me and I was moving and stuff. But again, no excuses. I feel like I was very present in this game. I was always trying to figure out what's going on in this game. I was like planning out the game chart. So I know that I was giving off a vibe of
Did Khalid freeze or is it just me?
No, he froze.
Khalid, you're frozen.
Not the internet being an issue for everyone.
Chris just posted time.
Well, while we have the halftime entertainment.
Why? No, I swear to God, if you posted it.
Anyways.
I can move on. Oh, there's Khalid.
There's Khalid.
Maybe there's no Khalid.
Oh my God.
Hey, Khalid. We hear you.
Am I back?
Yes, you're
back.
back.
Prod, did I lose time for that or no?
Oh my God. Okay,
You're good.
I'm so sorry. This is such an unfortunate timing. I can't see any of you. It's just a bunch of black screens. But if you can hear me, that's all that matters.
No, you're
so
good.
I was saying, yeah, I know that it seems that I was not interested and just not around and just so out of the game. But that was parts of the vibe that I was hoping you would get, because it was part of my strategy 100%. And I chose the specific conversations that I wanted to have, because I didn't want to be fake with anyone. And Colin, I did in fact say to you that I was thinking of quitting, and that was nothing to do with the game. I was just feeling very low points, like in my personal life. And of course, the game kind of also felt bad for me, because I felt bad being against you, because I genuinely did not know that it was Sean who puts me up. So I was confused and there was a lot going on. But at the end of the day, I was never going to go through with that. It was just how I was feeling in the moment. I'm a fighter at heart. I feel like I'm a winner, and I feel like I could be a winner. So I'm sorry, wait, your question was not being around. And
yeah, so why should the jury reward you the win whenever we feel like you weren't around that much, as opposed to Sean, who we perceive as being around throughout the entire game? Not Khalid freezing again. No. Prod, I can move on to Sean if you guys want me to. Move on to Sean. All right, yeah. Sean. So, Sean, like I said, I'm bitter toward you from a personal standpoint, not toward a game point. Whenever we had that whole debacle as a group, everyone knows the situation I'm referring to. You told me you were scared of being voted out because of you being a white male. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that not a statement you made?
That's not the entirety of the statement. We had a conversation. Oh, did I freeze?
No, you did. Good. You're good.
Oh, we had a conversation after I had made that original statement on the house call, which I was not proud of. Looking back, I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. It definitely wasn't something I should have said. It was just something that was on my mind, because we're having like an open dialogue conversation, because Facebook was constantly saying it. I know Sarah had mentioned it in the game once. So I was like, okay, maybe we can have like an open dialogue about it and maybe like figure out like what's going on. We never ended up going there. Colin and I actually got onto the call after, and Colin said that actually Colin and Noah both agreed with my statement. So it wasn't like I thought I was going up because I was a white male. I felt uncomfortable because I would never do that to somebody. And the way the Facebook comments were doing it, I felt like people were going to be influenced because of Facebook. And that's why I made that comment, because if people were saying it on Facebook, that's the viewers. If you were to scare the fuck out of me.
I'm gonna.
If the Facebook comments were saying that, people might actually do that as well.
Okay, so that leads me into my next question. Before I went out, you told me the only reason Khalid would stay over me is because Khalid was the last POC in the game. Then you proceeded to go to Sarah and tell Sarah that Sarah should keep Khalid because Khalid was the last POC in the game. By default, that's you saying I should leave because I'm a white male. How does that not cross a line with the conversations that we had?
Okay, it definitely crosses a line. I was trying to appeal to Sarah because Sarah was one of the main people in the game who was preaching about how she was tired of people of color and women getting nominated. So I thought coming to Sarah, who I actually had a really good relationship at the time, I thought was like, I don't want to vote out Khalid. We had a really good relationship. We are in the final 3 shot together. I didn't think anything was going to happen with that conversation. I never intended it to go that far. Looking back, yeah, I should not have said that. I was just in a moment of desperation. I made an idiotic comment. I did not want Khalid to go. Khalid is one of my favorite people in this game. I did not want to nominate Khalid that week as a renom. But going through all the scenarios, if I put up anybody next to you, they were going home. If I put up Khalid, Khalid was staying. I didn't think Sarah was going to vote out Khalid. So that's why when I put up Khalid, I did not think that Sarah was going to vote out Khalid. And then when Sarah and I were talking, yeah, I made an idiotic comment. I 100% own it. I should not have said that.
Colin, thank you. Khalid, this is your time to answer.
I need to fix my light real quick.
I'm so sorry, guys, for my internet being a bitch at the worst time.
Totally fine.
Sorry, Colin. When I came back the first time, I kind of forgot the question. So you said that. Okay.
Yeah, so what we want to know is why we should reward you the win when we feel like you weren't here for a quarter or even a half of the game, whenever we perceive as Sean being here the entire game.
Okay. And thank you for using the word, thank you for repeating your question, and thank you for using the word perceived, because I feel like in this game, perception is everything. And I was aware of that. And I really wanted the perception of me to be the player who's just being dragged along. And as I said, wolf in sheep's clothing. I wanted people to see a sheep. I wanted people to think that I was not threatening in any way, and that I was not around and not knowing what was going on in terms of the game, and just not having connections with anyone. Whereas I feel like I did make connections, and I did have an idea of what was going on in the game. And I think I can say confidently that, like, I love chess, and I know this is weird to say that we were chess players, but we were playing a game, and I saw each of us as a powerful chess player, or chess piece, excuse me. And so every week I would like make a graphic of how I saw the house, and that way I kind of figured out which conversations I needed to have, and that's how it went. I was very strategic with the way I played this game, and with my social game, I made sure to have the conversations that I needed to, and not have any fake conversations where I say things, you know, because I know that this is the game of Big Brother, and that you have to be nasty sometimes, and you have to deceive and stuff. But I tried to play a game where I don't do any of that, and I feel like I was successfully able to do that. So I feel like you should make me, or crown me, the winner of the season, because I did work hard. I put my effort physically, energetically, and emotionally into this game. I gave it my all, and I hope you all are able to see everything I did behind the scenes.
I have one more follow-up question. It's a two-part question, I guess. Do you feel like you put the same energy into everyone throughout the entire game? Just a yes or no.
No.
Okay, because I remember me and you never had a single one-on-one call. The only time we had a one-on-one call was in or not a one-on-one call. We had a call was in an alliance chat or a game chat where we obviously had to be there. So future reference, both of you, Khalid, if you are going to play the under the radar game, you have to shoot out at an earlier time. If you do it at Final Four, it's perceived to be way too late. Sean, I know this is your first game. Jury management is real. I'm bitter toward both of you. I'm going to overlook it after we're out of the game. I love both of you as people, but in this moment, I'm still bitter for what happened and how I went out. Good luck.
Thank you, Colin. Again, I hate to be that person, but we do ask that you be very, very mindful of our five limit time limit. Again, just be very, very mindful. Colin, you're an exception. I get it. I understand. But anyways, next year, Sarah.
Oh, shoot. Okay. I'll be quick. I don't like to be too wordy. I'm just curious about your guys' awareness of the jury and how you think the jury stands on your guys' status of the game. So I guess I'm just going to ask you guys to close your eyes and raise your hand if you think you have our vote. I'm just going to list jury members. So can you guys, can we do it together? Can you both close your eyes? Okay, we'll go in order. Nick. Colin. Sarah. Olivia. Anna. Who's next? Rory? Megan? Jeremy? Amanda? I don't know if I forgot. Did I forget anyone?
No, you did it. You did. You just messed up the jury order, but that's fine. That's.
I didn't have to study shit. I didn't make Final Two. But okay. I don't really care. That's all I have. I don't need to talk anymore.
Thank you, Sarah. Next up,
fucking queen.
We have Olivia, who is not here, but she did ask us to ask you both. What was your biggest move in the game? And whoever wants to go first can go.
My biggest move in the game would have to be convincing Jeremy that Megan still had to go after Megan was almost sure of getting Jeremy to flip. That was my biggest move, was convincing Jeremy in 6 minutes that Megan still had to go, because my game would have been over if Megan stayed in the game, and Jeremy would not have been necessarily over. I still don't think that Jeremy would have made it to the end, but I still think that was my best move, is convincing Jeremy in like 45 minutes to an hour that Megan convinced Jeremy to flip their vote. I, in 6 minutes, convinced them that it was still best for Megan to go.
Thank you. Khalid?
Okay, so again, as much as I did not see this move coming, but went through with it, Colin, I feel like when you went home, that was a very crucial point of my game specifically, because I didn't know that you were going up, and I didn't know that I was going up next to you, and that's how the week was going to end. I was very genuine in my conversations with you, and I genuinely did not want you to go that week, but unfortunately, with the way things ended up, you had to go. And then my main strongest move in this game, I feel like, was taking out Jeremy at the final four, and also I feel like it's a double move, Jeremy and Amanda, like winning those final competitions. In total, I won 5 challenges, and I feel like those 2 competitions, the final ROI and the final head of household, and cutting 2 of my closest allies in this game, Jeremy and Amanda, I feel like those were both 2 strong ass moves that I'm, as much as it hurts, proud of game wise.
Alrighty, and the next and final question, thank you for answering that both. From Olivia, she asks, are there any moves that you made that you regret making? And since Sean went first last time, Khalid, you can go first this time.
Any moves that I regret making? I would have to say, again, it would have to go back to the week I was up against Colin. I think maybe not, it's not necessarily a move, but like not say as much as I did, because I feel like I was at a point where I was so scared of going home that I said a few things that maybe I shouldn't have, and yeah, I feel like every other move I made, I am proud of. I think I played a very clean game, but a very strong game at the same time. And I don't think that I regret any other game move.
Thank you, Khalid. Sean?
My biggest regret move-wise was going to Sarah about the POC thing. I had a really good relationship with Sarah going in before that, and I feel like that conversation, along with nominating Sarah, I feel like it wouldn't have been as bad afterwards. I think Sarah still would have been mad at me, but going and starting that as the conversation and then doing that to a relationship, which we actually had a pretty decent one. We talked semi-often, and I feel like that really hurt our relationship even more so than me nominating you. And that is the only move that I regret in this game, because I think every other move had like a purpose and a reason, and that really did not have a purpose or a reason. It was just mean.
Righty, Sean. Khalid, thank you. The terrible king himself, Rory. It's your turn.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Before I get into my statements and questions that I do have note cards for you both. I'll let you know that now. I do have note cards for you both. I do have a question for both of you that tests your perception of the jury, and it's kind of similar to the one that Sarah just asked. However, if you could eliminate 3 people from the jury, tell me why. Pick the 3 people, tell me the reasoning why, and either of you can go first. I really don't care.
3 people from the jury. Oh my god.
I
only
don't like this. I only don't like this question only because I feel like every single person here earned their spot. So I do think that I know, but it's you, so it's like I knew you were gonna ask some sort of question like this because Rory's a little sneaky one. But yeah,
you should talk to Shad Rabideau.
I'm only gonna say this because I don't think that I can get your jury votes. And that is the only reason. I think every single person that I'm about to list, I think that you earned your spot, and I would not want to take that away from you. But just for the fact that I don't think I'm getting your jury vote, I would have to say Sarah, Nick, I feel like I could get her. Olivia's not here. Cop out.
Khalid.
Oh my god, okay. Again, I love all of you. I think you all played amazing games, and this is nothing against you personally or game-wise. This is just, again, like Sean said, I feel like I wouldn't have your vote. I feel like Jeremy, because you're so close with Sean and you respect Gabe, and I feel like you think Sean played a stronger game, so maybe Jeremy. I also think Megan, I think that you were so close to Sean, and I feel like even though you're mad at him, maybe you would respect his game. I'm not sure, because I perceive the three of you. I perceive the three of you as a trio, so I'm assuming maybe you and Jeremy would vote for Sean. And and the third person, oh my god, I would have to say maybe Olivia, because we weren't that close in the game, and I didn't get to connect with her like I planned, because she got cut at live nights. Literally, I messaged her before live nights because I wanted to work with her going forward, but I couldn't, and so I feel like maybe she would not be inclined to vote for me. So yeah, those are my three: Jeremy, Megan, and Olivia.
Okay, sounds good. I'm just gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about both of you. So we have Khalid to start off. I think you played very fucking boring, to be quite frank with you, and I thought your speech was a little all over the place. Gotta be honest. My question to you is, why did you lie about saving me when your vote was randomized, and I still don't know how you voted? Why did you lie to me about saving me, and why did you lie to me about saving me in a tie, which I knew you were lying to me about both when you told me, but why?
Okay. Genuinely, the first time that I told you that I would save you, I was 100% genuine. I swear to God, I was gonna keep you. I did not lie to you. That was genuinely me falling asleep after not sleeping for 36 hours because of packing. And I know that's not an excuse, because we all have lives and busy ass lives. But that was genuinely me not showing up for the vote, and that's why my vote was randomized. And when I told you that I would consider voting to keep you, I 100%, I promise you that, again, I told you, like I said in my speech, fake shit in this game and lying and all of that, especially this game, I did not do. And when I told you that, I meant it, because I was really considering between you and Megan, because like you said, you made good points, the jury might not have liked you, like maybe we would have been a good final two, like I fucking considered that, but you scared the hell out of me because you're such an amazing talker. With me, I stutter, I fumble, I get nervous, I get anxious, and I was like, there is no way that I'm going up against Rory at the final two, because that would be David versus Goliath. And I feel like that's how I thought, and I was threatened, and so that's why at the end of the day I voted to evict you. But there was no lying, no deception.
I will say, I don't like that answer, because you made a final two with me and promised that you would keep me. So I know that's
if it was
a
a
lie.
tie. If it was a tie.
And you're telling me you considered
Rory,
it.
1 minute left.
Okay, you were telling me you're considering it here now, but you promised me then, so that's interesting to me. I'm gonna move over to Sean because I do have a minute left. So Sean, I have a picture of you as a rat, and it's pretty fitting, and I called you a stupid bitch because that's what you are. My question for you is, why did you tell everyone that you were loyal to them? Was that a strategy? Because we all know that you are not loyal to anyone. Like, why did you tell everyone that you were loyal to them?
Okay, so with that, I was loyal to everyone up until an extent in the game. I did come into the merge with almost working with every single person except for Anna, and I still had a really good relationship with Anna. And I was loyal to people to an extent. I didn't have to win competitions. I still ended up winning competitions. But in my perspective in the game, once I saw something that people were not going to work with me, I tried to make a move on you and Megan during live night. I went to Anna and I tried to make the move. At that point, you both said, oh, it's water under the bridge. It was not water under the bridge at that point. I was not willing to ruin another relationship with people that I did not ruin a relationship with in order to try to salvage something that wasn't fully repaired. It just didn't make sense for me. So I was loyal to people up until an extent where I could not be loyal anymore. And people did know I played a villain game. We talked about it all season. I was willing to do anything. I was willing to make a move. And I feel like my game was very broadcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rory.
All right, Coochie, eat pussy. Let's go.
Okay, it's finally time. Hi, guys. First of all, I just want to say congrats to the two of you. I had really close relationships with both of you throughout this game, so I'm really happy to see two close friends of mine in the final two, because if it can't be me, might as well be somebody I like. So just to start off, my faces might think make you think that I'm gonna be really mean and bitter like everyone else. I'm probably gonna be the nicest one here because I always come into a jury thinking I'm gonna be bitter and angry about things, and then I get into the moment and then I never can. So I don't know why I really want to be, but I can't be.
It's
So
that Cancer energy.
I'm probably, yeah, it's the Cancer energy. I'm probably gonna be one of the nicest here. But oh God, I don't even know where to start if I want to start with Khalid or Sean. So actually I'm gonna start with Sean because fuck you. So Sean, to start off with you, my first question is kind of like how Rory said, we've seen that a lot of people here in the jury and people who didn't make the jury felt very close to you. We heard Khalid earlier tonight say that he considered you his number one from day one. I also considered you my number one from day one. I know Jeremy also did, and I'm sure there's other people that at some point in this game considered you their number one. And so to go off of that, I'm going to talk about myself for a second because I'm really conceited. But a lot of talk in the jury is how your game, Sean, has been kind of similar to a game that I played, which was my best performance ever, that I played with both Billy and Nick, to where I kind of dominated, was a villain, kind of backstabbed people, and then I ended up losing 8-1. So with all of the backstabbing you did, all of the loyalties and ties that you broke, and pissed off feelings that you gave to some people in the jury, why should we award you the win, and why should we not also make you lose 8-1 tonight?
Because I played the game, and I feel like in every situation, whether people are bitter or not, we came to play a game. This is Big Brother. We did not come in here with a set of rules saying you have to play a certain way. And for people to say you have to play a certain way, it's kind of not fair because we all play different. We all played a different game. We all lied in this game. I just didn't get caught in as many lies. When it comes to the loyalty thing, every game that I played previous to this, I got tormented at the end because I didn't socialize with people. I felt really guilty talking to people. And then I got to the end and they're like, I don't feel connected to you at all. I feel like I never got to know you. You didn't talk to me. And so in this game, I wanted to have a different perspective. I wanted to come in early. I wanted to socialize with people. I wanted to get to know people. I feel like I made genuine connections, which was super hard for me because once I make a connection with somebody, I feel really guilty about doing something later. And it just got to the point where I got caught up with relationships. And towards the end of the game, it actually worked to my benefit because I was never nominated. I literally made it to top 3. I was only nominated at top 3 because I couldn't win competitions by 2 seconds and because Khalid and I were having a dance party and I fucked up. But when it comes to socializing, I don't regret for how much I socialized in this game. I think it really benefited me in the later part of the game because no one was willing to nominate me. I made it all the way to the end, unnominated. And sure, I hurt people. It's a game. People are going to hurt people. I feel like everybody else hurt somebody else in this game. And I will take the heat for it. I hurt a lot of people. I hurt Megan. I hurt Sarah. I hurt Anna. I hurt Colin. I hurt Rory. I hurt Nick.
Megan, you got
I kind of hurt Olivia.
It wasn't my intention. Shut the fuck up, Sean. I'm sorry. I said I was gonna be really nice, but holy shit, I didn't realize 4 minutes went by that fast.
Khalid, I didn't either.
Really quickly, a lot of people in the jury during roundtable talked about how they think that you kind of sheep Sean for a lot of your decisions, especially during the end game. So just quickly tell me why you did or did not sheep Sean. I hope you don't say you did because that would really fuck up your chances. But please, quickly, and then I have one more thing to say.
Fuck that. I was not Sean's sheep, and I kept telling Sean, I was like, Sean, the jury thinks I'm your sheep. Fuck that. I am a wolf in sheep's clothing. Because at the end of the day, every move I made because I wanted to make, not because Sean wanted me to make the move. Sean, Megan, actually was really considering getting rid of you the week, but then I was like, no, Rory is going home this week because I was really threatened by Rory, like I said, and I really wanted to work with you, Megan, because that alliance that we had, the floaters, I was genuine about, and I really wanted, like, it meant something to me. I was not just like taking alliance just because, like, there was, like, I meant that. And Sean really, like, Sean I was loyal to, but had no control over me. I feel like every decision we made, we both made together.
20 seconds.
Or, like, we discussed. There was no control from Sean over me. I made every move that I made that benefited my game. And I was confident in my abilities to win the competitions that I needed to win, to get out the people that I needed to get out, to win. And I feel like I could win against Sean, and this is why I'm sitting here with Sean and not anyone else.
Okay,
And
thank you, Khalid. I'm going to cut you off there.
Thank
One
you,
last
Meg.
thing I want to say before we go. I wish I could be nicer and talk forever, but one thing that I care about a lot is the performance in the final tribal council or final speech and questions, because I personally do really well at that. I have almost won games before from how I speak. So I take a lot into account of how you both are speaking tonight. And before everyone else goes, I just want to say, Khalid, you're doing incredibly well. And I think you're surprising a lot of people tonight. Sean, you're surprising me in the opposite way. You're not doing as well. So keep that in mind as you guys keep going with the rest of the questions and your final speeches. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan.
Megan. Anna. Hi, Queen. It's your turn, babe.
Hi. Okay. First off, Sean, Khalid, congratulations. You've made it this far. Proud of you. First question. You're gonna have the same questions. Whoever wants to go first can go first. When did you feel the most in trouble in your game, and how did you maneuver out of it?
I can go. Okay. The time where I felt most in trouble was definitely week 6 when Anna, you won Ringmaster. I was happy for you. And then out of nowhere, the Snake Charmer power happens and Sarah and Colin go up. I was confused because I was in an alliance with both Sarah, Colin, Sean, and Jeremy. And so I was like, okay, where does this leave me in the game? Sarah wins the freaking ROI and I go up. And at that point, I was like, holy fuck, this is crazy. The game this is literally a freak show. And I was so nervous because I felt like Colin was very well connected. And being up against Colin, I was like, hold up, like I was just so scared. And I thought that I could go home because Colin had a power, which he told the Alliance. And so this is why I was shaking in my boots. And I honestly did not want Colin to go home that week because I thought Colin was such a huge player and we could take him maybe 1 or 2 more weeks. But once I knew that my ass was on the line, I did whatever I had to do to make sure that it was Colin and not me. And I spoke to a few people. I had the right conversations. I made sure I knew that there was a gang trying to keep me in the game. And yeah, I feel like I worked hard and made sure that I stayed and didn't go where I felt like I really had a huge chance of going. And yeah.
Okay, Sean.
My biggest obstacle in the game was coming out of the Snake Charmer week. After kind of being outed during the sellout or the curtain call ceremony, I felt really low. I was like, oh my God, everyone's gonna figure out that I was a Snake Charmer. My name wasn't read. I was freaking out. And then I was like, people are gonna think I'm sneaky and conniving, and it's going to not end very well for me. So I wanted to go around and I wanted to I told the group that I was working with, which was Amanda, Megan, Jeremy, Rory, and Noah. And so as I was leaving that round, I told everybody, and then I went and I told Khalid. I wanted to make sure Khalid knew before, so Khalid didn't find out from somebody else. Khalid took it very well. I was like, okay, maybe I can somehow manage it. I just tried to go around and talk to people as fast as I can. I tried to work on my relationships, and I tried to make sure that I spoke to every single person that I could to make sure that nobody was bitter towards me. Well, like of my group, so nobody was going to target me. I wanted to make sure I was loyal to the people or tell everyone I was loyal to them in that moment because I did not want anybody to flip on me. And I really felt like I was going to be the next one out or the next one after that because of that. I did have another power which would have saved me, but I really didn't want to, and I didn't have to use it at the end of the day. I did have another power that I did not have to use.
Anna, honey, you got 1 minute left.
Okay, next question. Make or break. Interpret it yourself however you will. Are you a waffle or a pancake? Go.
Ooh.
I am definitely a pancake because you have to flip over a few times to cook it. It kind of takes a little bit to cook in the middle. So I definitely flip-flopped in the game. Kind of had to spin me around, land back in the pan. I definitely was a pancake. I had to keep flipping around, and that's how I did it.
Okay, I am a waffle 100% because a pancake is very smooth, no bumps, no complexity to it, where I feel like with a waffle, there are so many, like you really have to look at a waffle to see what's really going on. And I feel like my game is like that. Sean is very in your face. Like, you know how Sean's game is. Me, it's like, you have to really think about what the fuck I did. And it's kind of like a question mark and like a mystery. And so I feel like, yeah, I'm a mysterious waffle.
All right. Thank you. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Unlike Megan, I am a bitch when I'm in the jury, so prepare yourselves, boys. Khalid, at this point, my perspective of you is that you would have gone home about 3 times over if Sean hadn't saved you, and the only move that you yourself, with your own brain, decided to make to do was taking out me at Final Four. So I would like to hear what one other move that you decided on was your decision that you pushed for to get you to where you're sitting now that wasn't just doing whatever Sean asked you to do.
Okay, so I feel like when I won my first Ringmaster, that was my week. That was not Sean's week. I won both Ringmaster and ROI, and I feel like I controlled what happened that week because I put my foot down and I decided on Rory going home. And even the week after that, when it was between Megan and Amanda, I decided to vote out Megan, not because it would help Sean's game. I decided to vote out Megan because I wanted to stay true and keep Amanda because I was loyal. And so I feel like even with your move, that was me. And then with Amanda, that was 100% me, of course. Like, Sean did not control any decision I made. Maybe our decisions lined up because we both played very similar games in terms of where we stood in the game. And so I feel like moves lined up. Like, the moves that I made were not for Sean. They just happened to line up with Sean's game. And so
okay, so I have a follow-up question then.
Okay.
When you won your Ringmaster, were you or were you not planning to put me up because you wanted to take me out and Sean convinced you not to?
Oh my God. Okay, listen. I considered it. Yes. Did I mention it to Sean? Yes. But I did not put you up because Sean told me not to put you up. I did not put you up because of my loyalty to you and that 4-person alliance. And I knew that even if I put you up, Jeremy, you would not have went home. You know, like, I would have loved to make that move that early on, but you were well connected enough where you would have stayed. So putting you up would not have benefited me. So my reason for not putting you up was not having the votes. And
look at Megan, because I wouldn't have had the votes to stay. If I had gone up, I would have gone home that round unless I won ROI. And Sean knows as well because he probably would have voted against me too.
2 minutes.
But I knew that was a wrong move for me because I felt more secure with you than Rory. And that's why I decided to take a shot at Rory and keep you in the game, keep the 4, because as much as of a player you are, I was not afraid of keeping you in the game and fighting it out at the 4. And that's exactly what I did. Thank you for your question.
Sean, part 1 of my question is, I feel like you didn't really touch on this round a little bit, and I want to show the jury some of your both strategic and convincing prowess. Discuss the round and how things shook down with Rory versus Nick on the block.
Okay, so Sarah won and nominated Amanda and Nick. Amanda won the ROI and then Rory went up. Rory was going home, like 100%. Like, Rory was going home. Megan and I had a conversation. We thought it was best to get rid of Nick because Rory would have been way more loyal to us down the line than Nick would have. And I went around and I convinced people because a lot of people were like, no, Rory's got to go. Rory has to go. And I went around and I was like, hey, these are the reasons. Rory's going to be a big target ahead of all of us. Nick could skate by. Nick could socialize a lot more than Rory can. Rory left prod chats.
1 minute.
Nick wasn't leaving prod chats. So I went around, I convinced Jeremy, who was dead set. Jeremy wanted Rory gone. That took so much convincing. And even Megan flipped back. Megan flipped back and was like, nope, I got to vote at Rory. I can't vote at Nick. And I was like, no. We have to make this move. It's best for us because Rory will be with us and Rory will be a target ahead of us. Nick won't.
You did, Megan. You messaged me as well, like right before the vote, thinking about wanting to flip. Okay, final part of my question for Sean. You had a lot of actually, this is for both of you. I think both of you had a lot of deals throughout this game, and I want to know how many final twos off the top of your head you can count that you had throughout the game.
And answer it fast.
Sean, you go. Okay, I can go. Okay,
I think 4. But like, I didn't make some of them, but I had 4. I made 2. I made 2 of them.
At the top of my head, I can think of a final 3 with me, Sean, and Sarah, me, Sean, and Amanda, and me, you, Jeremy, Sean, and Amanda as a 4. And those were the only final alliances that I can think of, because like I said, I didn't want to go around making fake alliances. If I made an alliance, then I wanted it to be real and I wanted to be genuine about it. I did bring up final 2s to some people, but like we never, like I did bring it up to Anna, and I did say that I would love to be the final 2 with Anna, but like we never really like it was never like a solidified alliance. Like once I solidified an alliance, I stuck to it. And yeah.
Thank you.
I have a final comment in response to that.
Hurry.
If you picked an alliance and stuck to it, why'd you make a final 3 with me and Sean and then vote me out at final 4? You don't get to respond though.
That was game. Oh, sorry. Don't get to respond.
Amanda, take us home.
It's finally my turn. Okay, yay. I don't have any like game related questions off the top of my head at the moment, but I just want to know that if I just want to know, what Disney character do you perceive me as?
Ooh.
I'm going to wait, just any Disney character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Tinkerbell, because in this game you had like so much light and your energy was so great. You sparkled your way through the entire game. I feel like you didn't make anyone super angry with you. And Tinkerbell would definitely, she had a little sass. You do got some sass, but she definitely would not have, you literally are just Tinkerbell in every way, shape, and form. You're magical.
Good answer, Sean. I would have to say Rapunzel, because I think that you have so much life in you, and I think that you are a queen just like Rapunzel is. Like you honestly, you have like, there's so much power to you and there's so much kindness and goodness in you, and I feel like you are the perfect balance of kindness and power. Like you are, like that's Amanda, and I feel like that's how you play this game. Like you played with grace, you played with kindness, which inspired me, and I took some notes from your game. So yeah, I feel like you are Rapunzel, you are a queen, and you are magical.
Thank you. That's so nice. I wouldn't have picked either one of those, but I love them both. So I'm going to ask you my favorite question that every time I'm on the jury, I ask, because there is nothing more that I love to see than people complimenting each other. So I would love it if you could compliment each other's game. Give me 3 reasons why the other person deserves to win.
I'm going to say Khalid is really good at talking. That has always been one of the main things that I've adored about Khalid. That's how we originally connected. One of our first conversations, we got into a call and it was like literally instant. Our connection was instant. I feel like our relationship was so underestimated in this game. No one really saw it, and that's what we connected on. Khalid is great at talking. Flirted with me like throughout the entire game, and I couldn't ask for a better person in this game. Like our showmance was like and then the third one, like literally you're just such a light. Like anytime that I was super stressed out in the game, I would just like come to you and you'd be like we're fine. Like you were stressed out, you came to me. Like we were just like, we had each other like emotionally and everything. Like whenever something happened, I could come to you and I know I could trust you. And that's something you can't really find in a lot of games.
Oh my God, love you, Sean. Okay, I think Sean should win this game because Sean, yes, like he's a lot as a player, but he is cutthroat. But he's a player, you know. And Sean, I feel like is there for you when you need him to be there for you. I feel like I can confidently say that when I needed to vent or anything, Sean was there. And I feel like Sean is just fierce, you know, like Sean does not give a fuck in the best way possible. And like as much as people want to paint Sean out to be this like big villain and stuff, I feel like Sean is this softy with a big heart, and Sean's a lover at the end of the day. Like yeah, I feel like Sean's a good person and Sean played a very good game. And I knew that coming into the final two, but I still wanted to stick to Sean. And yeah, thank you, Amanda, for this amazingness. And yeah, this amazing question.
Yes.
That's it from me.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you all, jury. You guys gave him what you needed to give him. Now we take it over to our final two. It's been so long and I forgot who went first. So I think Khalid went first last time. So Sean, start out with your closing statement.
Okay. Some things that I really want to highlight on that I didn't get to talk to in my opening statement is a lot of my moves that happened in the pre-merge. I really did make a lot of social bonds. I did highlight on that. I did try to talk to almost everybody within that first week. Going into the second week, I wanted to lay low. Megan was ringmaster. I knew I was fine. I wanted to see who was going to come back and talk to me rather than me reach out. And I wrote notes on every single person who came and spoke to me rather than the people who just avoided me that week, because the people who avoided me had something else going. And I was really good at piecing who was working with who and the connections that people had. I knew really early on that Colin and Anna were close. And there was a week, I think week one, we were trying to form like an 8-person alliance between the two sides. And it was like all the pressure was on like me to make like all these, like to pick all the people and kind of like make the alliance. I felt really uncomfortable. That's like really stupid to do really early on in the game, is to create a mega alliance and have that on my name. And I was not doing it. So I tried to avoid it at all costs. I was very aware throughout the entire game of my perception, and I was really shitty how I did handle some situations, and I do deeply apologize for that, but it was all game for me. And then going into week 5, when Sarah was the ringmaster, I was super happy when Sarah won, because I was like, I get to see where Sarah's at, because Sarah was kind of like giving me this like some things, but then doing like another, like we were talking about targeting Noah, but then Sarah was never targeting Noah. So I was like, Sarah's working with Noah. And so I kind of figured that out through that week, because we were talking and it was all about, we're like, oh, maybe we should target Noah. Then Sarah one was like, I don't want to target Noah. I want to go after these people. I was like, okay, maybe there is something going on with that. So I was always aware of who and trying to figure out, I had like this whole board. It's in my room right now, but I had this whole board like mapped out of like who's working with who potentially working with who might have this, who might have that. And I really wanted to make connections with people. That was my main thing. And I think I did a really good job. And especially going into the jury phase, I was one of the most connected people in the game. And I went after big targets. I always went after people with a force, and everyone did know it at some point. I loved everyone in this game, but I'm a very dominant person in that sense, where if I'm targeting you, I feel like every person knew I was going after you at some point. I did not hide behind somebody else. I went after something full drive, and that's just how I am as a person. I am very type A. I like to control situations, which isn't always the best thing, but I am who I am at the end of the day, and I do love each and every one of you. And going into the top 6, I couldn't see a situation where I was getting nominated. That's how my social game was. Like I literally was trying
1 minute left.
as many people as I could. And then going into each round, I knew I wasn't going home. If I got nominated, I wasn't going home. I made it to final 3 unnominated. My social game, as much as I wasn't social with people who were leaving, which definitely was a hinder to my game, and I acknowledge that throughout the game. And it's definitely something I want to work on in future games. It's jury management. I'm just really hard to get to know emotionally. And the people that did get to know me emotionally I feel like we did have a really good connection, and I connected very well with two people in this game, being Jeremy and Khalid, on a much
30
deeper level.
seconds.
That was one thing I wanted to talk about. I just want to acknowledge that I did hurt some people in this game. That was not my intention. I do love each and every one of you at the end of the day. And I am truly, from the bottom of my heart, sincerely sorry that I hurt any of you in some sort of way. From Colin being upset how he went out, from Sarah, the way I spoke to you, that was never how I want to speak to anyone. Megan, you're one of my closest friends and I love you. And I'm sorry what I did.
Sorry, but we are on time restraints. Thank you, Sean. Khalid, take us home.
Hey, okay, hello, lovely people. For the last time, I just want to say I came into this game as someone who was very overwhelmed. I did not know what I was signing up for. I was truly in a freak show. There were so many amazing acts around me who knew what the fuck they were doing. You all came to win, and it was very evident from very early on. Alliances were being made left, right, and center, and I found myself looking around dazed and confused. When I finally felt like I was becoming part of something, and I felt like, okay, maybe I had a pack in the game, they all went out in one round, and I was left there very, even more lost, even more confused, but with a bigger fire in me to make it all the way and win and prove everyone who underestimated me wrong. I had to take a minute, and I did, but I knew that I had the survival instincts and the fighter spirit in me to make it all the way to the end. When the jury hit, I had to really focus on my strategy and on my end game plan and on my map to the end. And so when Nick went home up against Rory, that was where I really had my gears turning. And I spoke to Rory, and I told Rory that I wanted to keep Rory because I didn't know where I stood with Nick on a game level. I felt very threatened because I felt like maybe after blowing up the so-called Sequester Alliance, Nick would be coming for me. And so that's why I was leaning towards voting out Nick. When it came to the week of me being up against Colin, this is the week that really shook the game up for me. And I knew that this was going to be all out war because before that point in the game, things were kind of mellow.
2 minutes.
Things were kind of like, okay. And then that week when I stayed, I knew that I had to make it to the end and fucking win. The next week when Sarah went home, as much as it sucked, I had to make the move to evict Sarah because as much as I wanted to work with Sarah, the way the game was mapped out, I had to evict Sarah. From that point onwards, I voted with my head and not my heart. Again, being up against Olivia on live night. It hurts, but I stayed with a 5-0 vote. I was up 3 times and I stayed every single time. One of the times I saved myself in the final 4 and evicted Jeremy. I had 5 challenge wins in total and I saved most of those wins up until the end. And I made moves when I got power. I did not take my power lightly. I made moves that benefited my game. I played this game as kind of a lone wolf. I had very close allies, very few close allies, but I still managed to make it to the end because people underestimated me. They let me fly by under the radar, and they made the wrong decision of keeping me in this game for too long because they didn't know what was going to hit them, and they didn't know that I had the capability to win power, to win games, to make connections, and just be as good as all of you beautiful, amazing, strong players and human beings. I love you all. Thank you, production, for giving me this opportunity. And I love you all. I hope I get to represent the season as the winner. It will be my honor. Love you. And sing season 2.
Thank you, Khalid. Thank you. Thank you. I forgot what I was going to say, but we all know what it's time for. Final 2, Sean, Khalid, you have done all that you can, and it is now down to the jury. One by one, for the final time, we will ask you to go to your prod chat where you will be voting for a winner. You are going to reward one of Sean or Khalid $250, title Legend of Instinct, and they get to represent this season. Granted how messy it was, they still get to represent it. Nick, please cast your vote for a winner in your prod chat.
Good luck to both of you. I think you both played great games. Good luck.
Thank you. Colin.
I'm sending mine on a parchment. The biggest thing for me that I respect is gameplay. I can look past the bitterness, but to both of you, please take into account in future games what I told you after my questioning. Proud I'm sending my vote right now. It's loading.
Damn, it's taking forever. Oh my God. There we go.
I'd be on the Oklahoma Wi-Fi. I'm sorry.
Picture. That is not parchment.
I hate everything about you.
Colin, that was so good.
That was so funny. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I was not prepared for that. Sarah. And if you and obviously we didn't say it, but if you want to say something final to the final two while casting a vote, feel free. Sarah, do you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Olivia has already cast her vote. So Rory, it is your turn.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have anything to say either. Good luck, I guess. I don't fucking know. Okay, I'm going now though. I will say that if this final two scenario was different, I wouldn't be voting for this person.
Thank you, Rory. Megan?
I'm sorry, I just started coughing when I hit my Juul. Fuck. Have not set my vote yet. But as I'm voting, congrats to you two, congrats to the winner. And one final word I want to say is that I also did get very deeply close with two people in this game, Jeremy and Anna. So.
Thank you, Megan. Anna, it's your turn, honey. Anna, are you going to say anything? I'm sorry.
I don't need to.
Okay, honey, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Jeremy?
I'm voting for the person who I know played the best game and the game that I wish that I had played back when I first tried to play a Big Brother game.
Thank you, Jeremy. Amanda, take us home, baby.
I love you both so much. It's really hard, but game respects game, and that's all I'll say.
Not me and Sequester 7-Eleven.
Stop! That was so good though.
Sorry, there's an ongoing reoccurring joke with me when I play minis. I'm always like game respects game. And I was.
Oh, you mean the sequester mini you didn't win?
Oh, you mean the one that you weren't supposed to win? That's cute. Anyway, I am now going to give it the floor to Sam to reveal a winner. And we do have a winner.
It's to Billy. Billy's the one that's going to be reading.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, Sam.
That's why he went off camera for Bride of Death.
I keep forgetting. My bad.
Billy, the face you made.
Good luck,
so
Khalid.
good.
I didn't see. I was on the chart. I love you,
Love
Billy.
you too.
Before Billy goes, I do want to say good luck to the final two. Jury, you all have been phenomenal. I love each and every one of you, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what happens.
I have the votes. Wow. Guys, we did it. Season 2 is about to come to an end, everyone. Thank you so much. I think production can agree that gameplay-wise, this was a huge step up from Season 1. You all came to win. You all should be so proud of how you played. You all should be so proud of how you acted. And overall, we are so happy with how the season turned out in the end, all things considered. Will this be considered in our top Ranger seasons? That'll be a question for another time, but overall, we are extremely proud of all of you. Thank you guys so much. Sean, Khalid, it is time to reveal the winner. Whoever receives a majority of votes, that is 5 or more, will take home the crown and be the next Legend of Instinct and join Sam Fosa in the Winners Club. I will now reveal the votes. Remember, you are looking for your name. We will start with Jeremy. Jeremy casted their vote for, it says I hate it here, Sean to be the winner of Instinct Season 2. Sarah casted her vote for Khalid to be the winner of Instinct Season 2. Rory casted his vote for Sean to be the winner of Instinct Season 2.
Oh, keep going, baby. Keep going. You do you. Go ahead.
Nick casted their vote for Khalid to be the winner of Instinct Season 2.
Thank you.
Amanda casted her vote for Sean to be the winner of Instinct Season 2. Anna casted her vote for Sean to be the winner of Instinct Season 2. It is 4-2. It takes 5 to win. Megan has cast her vote. Congratulations, Sean. You are the winner of Instinct Season 2. You are the new Legend of Instinct.
Oh my Congratulations, Sean.
Congrats, Sean.
To make it official.
Good job, Sean.
To make it official, Colin.
Burritos for Sean.
I hate
Sean.
you.
And Olivia casted her vote for Sean, which means Sean, you won in a 7-2 vote.
Thank you guys so much. I know I did play a very dark and evil game, and I definitely will learn from this experience regardless. I know now I can play the game that I played, but still put some respect on some people, and I feel like I didn't do that on the way out. I feel like I'm very hard and very blunt, and I feel like I need to learn to be a little bit more vulnerable, and I definitely am going to take note of that for future games that I play, because I did learn a lot from this game, and I will definitely take it to heart. And I love each and every one of you, and I really hope that we can be friends after this game.
You're a sneaky bitch, but you deserve it.
Sean,
Period.
congratulations. And for the record, Khalid, you have nothing to be ashamed about. Well done. You killed it as well, and you should be so proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Billy. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. I love playing with every single one of you, and I hope that we can stay in touch after this game.
Well, that is it, guys. Chris, you can stop the recording, guys.
That is not it, because what is the season without awards, bitches? Like, what is the season without awards, Sam?
Oh no.
Yes.
Sean, villain of the season.
Villain. I'll be shocked if I don't get villain.
Y'all think we're gonna let you leave out here without some of y'all?
Well, first,
Khalid, you're still looking mad cute.
First, we want to make
Oh,
sure
thanks,
to see if any of our pre-jurors want to join before we get.
Yeah, where are they?
The pre-jurors.
Haley,
Haley.
Haley.
Haley's the only one that matters. Let me add her.
Quickly, just stop the recording because we did this after.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do.